Make sure everything's up and running. I think we're all good here now. So we got another big three. Um, the last one did pretty well. We got the word out to a lot of people, so that's good. I'm looking forward to this one. You know, these kind of these things just pop up throughout the week, and I kind of just make a mental note of it and write some stuff down, and I'll talk to a couple different people, some coaches, and then kind of get my thoughts together over the course of the week. And here we are. So what I like to do with the big three is kind of just talk for a few minutes, and the chat is there. If you got any questions, we can definitely stop where we're at. We can talk about that, or we can wait till the end and kind of talk about it towards the end of that segment. So this week's big three is what is your why? We all have different whys in our life. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Also, I want to talk about dialogue. I think far too many times we decide that let's not talk about it. Let's just keep it to ourselves, or let's whatever the reason. We would rather kind of not talk to somebody or not express how we're feeling or express some concern, and we build up tension or whatever. So I want to get into that a little bit. And also I want to talk about your story. If you've been following Black Diamond lately, sort of running a campaign, if you will, and it's, write your own story. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't concern yourself with who's doing what, who's doing this, who's doing that. It's one thing to kind of keep up with the Joneses, to make sure you're doing, somewhat of what everybody else is doing, so you're not, out of whack. But two, don't just do something that you're not comfortable with just because the other people are doing it. So we're going to get into a little bit about how to write your own story and what that means, and how you find, the true you, who you are. So we'll get into that and much more. I've got sort of a surprise, if you will. Got a big announcement to make at the end of this. I won't keep you too long with it, but so we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and we'll jump into what is your why. When I think about what that means to me, what is your why? It's, why do you get up in the morning? Why do you make your bed? Why do you eat a certain breakfast? That what is your why is who you are. It's your personality. It comes from you doing things a certain way because that's the way you want them done, or that's the way you want to do it. Different people will hit you with different ways of doing certain things. How to make a bologna and cheese sandwich. I do it this way. Well, why do you make it that way? And we don't think about it, but there are reasons that we do things a certain way. So let's think about this, from a youth sports point of view. Why do teams warm up a certain way? That's the way they've always done it. That's the way the coach had done it, or that's the way the coach has learned. Well, why does this player warm up that way? That's the way they've always done it. They don't know why they do it that way a lot of times until they stop and think, hey, why are we doing it this way? So when you're warming up and you're getting loose, or you're taking your reps, or you're shooting baskets, or you're serving volleyballs, you need to understand why you're doing it. It's to get better. It's to prepare you for that next level. It's to grow your game. And being around different coaches, we all have different whys. And I learn a lot from being able to talk to different coaches. There's a lot better coaches in this world than I am. And I understand that. And that's what makes me want to be better, is because I know that they're out there and they're better than I am, and I want to pick up little things that they do from this coach or that coach. Makes me better. And my whole reason for doing Black Diamond Softball and Fitness is to spread as much of the good word as I possibly can about the great sport. I think the men and women that are involved in the sport, they do a great deal to help promote the sport in a lot of good ways. There are a few bad apples, just like with everything, chasing trophies and doesn't really care, doing it for all the wrong reasons. And the ones that are doing it right, they have their why. They want to give back to the community. They want to put this on the main stage. They want to get a big time professional league out there where girls can and women can make a living doing something. Because right now it's just the inequities are there. They're just not able to do it like a lot of what the men's sports are able to do. I mean, if you look at the WNBA, if it wasn't for the NBA, there wouldn't be a WNBA. And the Professional Hockey League and professional soccer leagues. So, if you're involved in the sport in any capacity, I think you have an obligation, and I think your why needs to be surrounded around that in some way of why do you want your daughter to play this game? What's in it for her? What's in it for you? What are you gaining from this as a parent of a softball player? And of course, it's a rhetorical question, and it's one of those kind of like ever evolving answers. Something could pop up and it changes your why. It could be, to grow her confidence. It could be this is a bond. You may have played the sport when you were younger and you're passing it on so they can pass it on. You could be giving back to your community like teachers. I mean, you look at the reasons why they teach, you'll find a lot of those reasons that they teach is a lot of the same reasons that people coach. There's a lot that kind of goes in between the two there. So tonight, tomorrow, sometime, think about what is your why when it comes to your connection to the sport. Why are you connected to the sport? What got you connected? Are you still going down that same path that you were going down, the reason why you started? And how can you take your why and impact someone else in a positive manner? Whether it's at a practice, at a clinic, putting together uniforms, taking ticket money, running the admin side of a team, being the team mom, the dugout mom, the fruit lady, being the dad that drives all the girls to and from practices. Whatever position you have in the sport, and it doesn't have to be softball, but whatever position you have in the sport, where are you at on that? Are you doing it just to do it? Are you going through the motions? Or is that your why? I'm doing this because of boom. All right? So we're going to move on from what is your why? I mean, I just want to, those 4 words. If you got up in the morning and asked yourself, what is my why? Give you that self-talk, heart-to-heart, self-motivation in the morning when you get up. What's your reason behind it? All right, so we're going to move on from that. Any questions, throw them into the chat, and we'll tackle that down the road. All right, moving on to an open dialogue. Okay, this right here, I want to touch on briefly on one aspect of it, and then the second aspect of it, I want to kind of get into it just a little bit more. Open dialogue, man. Make sure you got good communication channels between you and your child, your athlete. It's tough raising kids these days. It's always tough. Every generation says it's always tough. We just kind of sometimes go through the motions when it comes to getting up in the morning, getting ready for school, helping them get ready, get them out the door, get them to school, get them home from school, shuttling people back and forth to practices, getting them home, dinner. We just go through the motions. And we'll ask that question, how was your day? How was school? And a lot of times we just say, or they just say, good, or fine, or okay. It's all these one-word answers. Don't settle for those one-word answers with, your kids, because it grows. It'll be like that. And when they have an issue, they have a problem, they have something that might be bothering them, they're not used to talking to you about it. They're just going through the motions too. So let's not go through the motions. Let's have a open dialogue with them. If they have something going on at school, if there is an issue with someone on the team or the coach or something like that, let's reassure them that, I'm mom or dad. We can talk about this. They want that. They need that connection. They want to talk to somebody. And sometimes it may not be all the time, or it may not be every time there's an issue. They may be able to handle it, but just let them know that there is an outlet. There's an issue at practice today. I couldn't get something right. Coach is yelling at me. And just let them vent for a second. Let them get it off their chest. And on top of that, allowing them to learn how to be listeners and have conversation where they know how to listen. They know how to communicate because they get it from you. They have teammates, they have classmates, and they need to be able to talk to them, to their classmates. Somebody could be in need, somebody could be going through something. Opening it up for somebody to kind of let it out or vent a little bit, it helps. I do it a lot. Different coaches that I talk to, my buddies, could be frustrated with whatever I've got going on, and just trying to create that open dialogue. Now, on the other side of that, we have coaches. We have people that are teaching our kids, coaching our kids, and we want to be involved as much as we can, but we don't want to be too involved. We don't want to be that parent. We don't want to be that helicopter mom and dad parent from the team. So what we do is we just either we talk too much or we don't talk enough when it comes to the coaches. So it's like we have a beef, playing time. Let's talk playing time. This would be the scenario. We'll have a beef, so-and-so got moved, or they got put on the bench, or they got moved down to the lineup. So as a parent, we have a concern. My kid's not batting in the spot anymore. They're not playing left anymore. We're all too quick to go to some snap judgment of he hates my kid, or they brought somebody else in, or there's some crazy reason why my kid doesn't play anymore, doesn't start anymore. Doesn't matter if it's basketball, football, doesn't matter. It's across the board in youth sports. We as parents are like that. That's how we are. That's how I am. That's how I was. It's normal to be like that. That's your feeling. You know what I mean? You're not crazy for feeling that way. But if you had an open dialogue with that coach to be able to address some of the concerns, you have to go about it the right way, and I can teach you the right way to approach a coach without disrespecting them or without them making them feel that you're a helicopter hovering, trying to control every aspect of your kid's life. So going into it, when you try out for the team or when you make the team, the new roster comes out, the new season starts, make sure that all the parents, a majority of the parents, or at least you, are able to have a conversation, what you're looking forward to, have that conversation with the coach of whatever you and the kid's been working on. You got lessons here, practices here. Have some type of relationship with them to where there can be a conversation where it's not awkward. We got to get rid of the awkwardness of that. Everybody has that same awkwardness. I mean, there might be some that just don't feel that awkwardness, but most of us, there's just that awkwardness with talking to the coach. And I've been on it both ways. You don't know how Susie's mom and dad are. Susie's mom and dad don't know how you are as a coach. I don't know how Coach Paul is or whatever. So there's a couple times you need to be around them, figure out maybe their pace of conversation. Are they serious? What's their personality like? Can you talk to them? Do they listen? And can you listen to them when they talk to you to explain something to you? So without going straight at them and go, hey, I noticed you pulled so-and-so off of first and set them on the bench. Did they do something wrong? Was there an issue like that? Don't do that. Don't do that, because what you're doing is you're undermining that coach, and that right there has just opened up a whole can of worms that you don't want to open up, because it puts a bad taste in that coach's mouth. And every time they do something, they're looking over their shoulder, and they can't coach because they don't know what's going to happen with this parent or that parent because I just moved Susie or I just benched Susie. So don't do that, or it's going to be short-lived. What you can do is, if it's not bothering your kid, or they're not bringing it up to you, like whatever the reason, they're just not bringing it up to you, they're going along with it because they're kids and they get it and they understand. You need to get it, and you need to understand. It's a game, they get moved. It's not always because of some issue. Now, if you see something that continues to happen and it seems like there's something like where it's been singled out or something like that, be able to do this. Hey, coach, can I talk to you after practice? Immediately, it's going to go in that coach's mind of that's Susie's mama or that's Susie's daddy. They're going to go into their brain housing group and they're going to figure out the latest interactions. That's human nature. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Now, from there, let it be 24 to 48 hours since the instance that you need to talk to them about, or if it's some ongoing situation, better to do it face-to-face. Definitely don't do it over text. If it has to be a phone call, let it be a phone call. Best way to do it is face-to-face. And just ask them. Be brutally honest. And it's okay to be awkwardly brutally honest in this situation. I would rather have that as a coach. If there was ever an issue, if I ever felt like that there was something going on, I wanted the parents to be able to come up to me and talk to me. But if you have that open dialogue going in, it won't be awkward. And a lot of times, this tension between the coach, parent, and player can be kind of diffused before it ever becomes a situation. You already know the coach's philosophy, the mentality of why Susie got benched or why Susie got moved. If you don't have that, be able to ask them honestly. And you can use the icebreakers, the lean-ins, like, hey, just got a quick question for you. I don't even know why I'm thinking this, or I don't know what makes me think this, but can you kind of put my mind at ease here, or at least explain this to me? And I guarantee you, you're going to be better off for it, instead of beating around the bush, talking to another parent from, on the team, assuming different things. The coach not every coach is out there chasing trophies and winning by any means necessary. There is a huge number of the coaches that would rather develop over time and win because of the development instead of just win at all cost. They're human. They do enjoy being able to develop not just physically but mentally and like all encompassing when we talk about development. So if you can start when you get there, being able to have an open dialogue with that coach, they'll all tell you, hey, come up to me, talk to me. If you got any concerns, 24, 48 hours, make sure you're cooled off, you're not mad at something, or at least give you some time to think about it, and then boom, let's talk about it. If you got an issue, it is what it is. They'll tell you, don't come up to me and talk to me about playing time. Okay, well, don't come up and talk to them about playing time. There's different ways to do it. Hey, just wanted to touch base with you, see how Susie's doing. I know she's struggling with a couple of things here. She's doing this. She's been working on this. She's been doing that. Open up that dialogue. Have a conversation. Without asking a specific question, you might get your answer at least into that coach's thinking. But you'll never get there unless you talk, unless you communicate. We have to. Okay? So, on the dialogue part of this, let's make sure our kids can talk to us. Don't close that door. Take your hat off to be able to talk to them. Be parents first, at the house. Figure out a time. In the truck. To and from somewhere. Hey, everything good to go? Yeah, everything's fine. Well, if they hit you with that, let's start digging. Let's give them questions that they can't answer with one or two words. Let's get some of their personality out. Let's talk to them a little bit. Let's find out if there is anything. There may not be anything wrong, but at least find out how their school day went. What'd you learn today? They ain't gonna tell you nothing. They're tired. But keep digging. Keep digging. Same thing with the coaches. Figure out the best way to come up to them and talk to them. All right? So, what I've been doing lately with the Black Diamond Softball and Fitness group, if you will, is write your own story. And it's big to me for us to be individuals that can be comfortable in our own skin. Whether you play the flute, or you're the high school quarterback, or both, or you're captain of the swim team, or you're just a member of the debate team. Write your own story. This goes back to your why. I mean, it kind of comes full circle here. Don't do what others are doing just because others are doing it. Make sure we're preaching that to our kids. We got this ghost advance because so-and-so got this ghost advance and it's the hottest bat around just because they say it's the hottest bat around. Well, you got it because they got it, and this person got it because they got it. So that's why you see a ghost in everybody's dugout. Until somebody goes, you know what? Let me figure out my bat. Let me figure out my glove, my cleats. Let me be an individual. Be an individual in a team sport. Now, I'm not saying go out there and make the game about you, but be an individual out there. Have your own personality. When they get older and they start to get recruited, they have a history. They've kind of written their story as they're going, and they'll continue to write their story as they get older. But if it's the same thing that everybody's doing, it's very vanilla. So do something that makes you happy. If you want to go out there and hit 50 balls every night, go hit 50 balls every night. If it's 125, hit 125. If you do 50 push-ups in the morning when you wake up, let it be you. Find something that interests you. Have some individuality about you. Let your personality come out. And if you're different from other people, that's fine. Be different. I want you to be different. You don't have to do what I do or like what I like. Be your own. It's always interesting to me to find people that have differing opinions on things and talk to them about stuff. I'll have a certain mindset on something to do with the game. Bunt coverage. Okay? But I'll talk to another coach and they'll throw something out there like, well, we cover it this way. Okay, cool. So what that makes me do is it makes me do my research. It makes me think about something. It goes deeper than what I thought. And as we learn other people's own story, we're able to take a little bit from this person, take a little bit from that person, this person, this person. We got these experiences. Now we can write our own story. We can take a little bit from her and a little bit from her. I like how she sets up in the box. I'm going to try that. I'm going to make it my own. And she's got a little bit open, and she does it this way. I'm going to go a little bit open. I'm going to do it this way, see if this is comfortable. We all see Montana Fouts pitch or Keely Richard pitch. Somebody that they're, pushing on ESPN or something. All the girls went to that style. Monica Abbott or Kat Osterman. Or we see, we saw Odyssey. All the pitchers started going to this way. My youngins were doing it. All of a sudden, my youngin starts, leaning down, scraping the ground with her glove as she's coming up through. And then, of course, they eventually find their own story, and they kind of tweak it just a little bit and make it their own because it's them. So don't be afraid to write your own story. Listen to whatever music you want to listen to. Do your own thing. You know, it comes down to that individual in a team sport. And it's like a classroom. There's a bunch of individual pupils sitting there, but it makes up a class. And the teacher is able to have discussions and have debates and open up the floor for opinions. It's fine to have a different opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly normal to be your own self and be comfortable with who you are. So you'll see a lot of this stuff now. Write your own story. Write your own story. Don't do what everybody else does. Go be you. I'll be proud of you if you're your own self. You know, don't just go with the flow. This world is made up of individuals that coexist. That's what makes the world, our country, a great place. You know. All right. So I've been holding on to it for a little while. I have finally partnered with a design group to be able to put out some merchandise, put out some Black Diamond stuff. A lot of people have been asking me, where can I get a shirt? Where can I get a hat? The hats that I've got, like this one, and all my other ones that are just like this, just different color, they're pretty much one of a kind. It was a one run, a single run. But I am happy to announce that I've got a design team that put together some pretty incredible stuff, and we are happy to show you guys, show the world that we have opened up a store on Etsy. Right there is the website. It's etsy.com/shop. Man, that's tough to say. All right, so it's etsy.com/shop and then /BD softball fit. The link is actually down below in the description of this video or this live right now. So with this, there's a lot of different things going on here. A lot of the designs, they're cool. So you have the logo, you have my logo. You got the featured items that's going on here. So we have hoodies. We have the kids tees. We have the girls shirts, kids tees. There's a lot of different options with that. A lot of the stuff has stuff on the back as well. I don't know if this displays it. It might. But on the back of this, it has my logo on there as well. So, sweatshirt. As far as the pricing on this stuff, we did the best we could on the pricing. It's, you know, it's tough to find the right people to make your stuff, to be able to do good by you and the company. So we went the best way. We tried to go American made as much as we could. So we do have the hats. So on a lot of the back of the shirts here, you have write your own story, and you have BDSF down the sleeve. We have shorts. We have a hat. Right now, the embroidered, a little bit more expensive style hats, they're just not in stock right now. I can't find a manufacturer that I trust that it's in America. It's not going to cost me an arm and a leg to manufacture the hat. So for now, the only two lines that I have is the beanie. It is getting cold. We do have stuffed animals. Got a Sherpa blanket. And then we have some kind of novelty type stuff. The smartphone ring holder. We got your rally towels. We have the die cut stickers. We do have totes. There is a glass cutting board. And for my beer drinkers out there, we got the mugs, got the can holder, and the bottle opener, which is a pretty cool design. Also, right now, we have 3 color designs on the shoes. 3 color designs, and then there's actually 2 designs. The black are that That's what the black looks like. BDSF on the right, the logo there on the left. So the sizes, we go as far down to 5 up to 12 on those. And then the orange and red are the same. They look like that. Just has the logo kind of mashed across. So sizes on these as well as 5 to 12. So order early and often. This collection of items will be available for the foreseeable future. There will be stuff added to the website as we get more manufacturers on board. Stickers, these are die cut, so they're shaped just right. Got them all the way down the 2x2s. They are pretty small, so kind of would go on like your laptops. And then we do have like the 6x6s that would, I don't know if I have a decent picture. So it would actually be bigger on the, so a 6x6 is pretty good size. The quality on this stuff is good. I know there are some out there that do like the stuffed animals for the little ones, and some of the older girls like it too. I think my favorite is the lamb. So pretty proud of this stuff. It's been a long time coming. I had a lot that had been asking me, and I've been putting it off. Well, not really putting it off. I just didn't know which way I wanted to go. I didn't want to go crazy with it. I didn't want to do it myself. I didn't want to go in blind. So we decided to go with Etsy because it's such a user-friendly site. There's a lot of different sites you can go out there and that you can use. But I've used Etsy personally. A lot of members of the team has used Etsy. So it was just a no-brainer. Anytime there's an issue, not that there really ever is, but we'd knock it out real quick with Etsy, and on the personal side of it, it'd be taken care of. So like I said, I am happy with what we're doing and the direction that we went. So here's just kind of going through the website with you and looking what we have to offer here. These long sleeve shirts, we have all the colors. Pretty proud of these. If it's not in stock right now, it will be in stock ASAP, and I get updates all the time. So these are youth sizes on these shirts, extra small down up to extra large. Now on the women's side, these are the performance tees. They're made out of 100% polyester, so they're the dry fit type. But on the back, it does have write your own story. So we do have a few color options. I would say probably this blue is my favorite. So yeah. So if we order today, if you place an order today, it would ship within the week. It takes about anywhere from an hour to 24 hours to get the order in. And then from there, usually things ship within 5 to 7 business days. So pretty cool. The sweatshirts, the front looks like this gray one. I think it's pretty sick. Small up to extra large. The sleeve looks like the black display here. And then the back, of course, has write your own story. Shorts, awesome. Basketball shorts. I mean, they are made. They're the moisture wicking shorts. So, pretty proud of how the blanket is going to turn out. I mean, it's a Sherpa blanket. So, anyway, we have the beige and the gray. Personally, I like the gray. I was told to run the beige color as well, So that's what I went with. Some of your kitchen items here, you do have a glass cutting board. All this stuff is made here. So, and last but not least, the last thing I do want to show you is the can holders. I know these are really popular. So the lid screws off of it, and it holds sodas, so to speak. So the logo wraps around on both sides there, all the way around it. And so that's it. So that's the big announcement. You can buy your Black Diamond softball and fitness gear right here on Etsy. Really quick, really easy. Etsy controls the storefront. So you don't have to call me, text me, email me, say, hey, give me this shirt or give me that journal. It's all done there. Totes. Mamas, there's your totes right there. Totes. So that's it for the merchandise. So if you would, please get on there, do some shopping. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode, this edition of the Big Three. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to do this each and every Tuesday that I can. My back itches. We do a lot during the week. I'm constantly churning out content, talking to somebody, guests for the podcast. Check out the podcast, Foul Pole to Foul Pole, right here on YouTube. You can get it, everywhere. We got it on Spotify. We got it on iTunes, iHeart, Google, SoundCloud. If you listen to a podcast anywhere, you'll find Foul Pole to Foul Pole on there. So, also right here on YouTube. I just dropped 2 within the last week or so. Scott Woodcock, I was able to sit down with him. He is the assistant head coach there, University of Maine. He's a part of a 2-man crew, him and Jordan Fitzpatrick. They do a lot with not a whole lot. Just them two. So you can imagine running a roster 22, 23, 24, depending on, I don't remember what number he said. All those players, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Matter of fact, they're building a brand new facility up there right now. I keep seeing the pictures and stuff, and we talk about it. So brand new facility, it's turf. And then, of course, I just talked to Jamie Lowprice, the CEO of the Alliance Fast Pitch. If you haven't seen that, it's on the channel. Both of those are on the channel. All the podcasts are there. Jamie doing big things. They just got wrapped up with their the Alliance Fast Pitch National Championships, or the Championship Series. Doing just incredible stuff. The season is starting right here, and their season starts August 22nd. I know the fall season for a lot of us starts September 1st, but she talks a lot of the partnerships that they have. The big misconception about the Alliance, I think we talked about this, was first and foremost, people think that the Alliance is some new tournament sanction, like some new tournament directors, and that's not the case by any stretch. They partner with tournament providers, Triple Crown, U-Trip, USA, and that's who runs the tournaments. The Alliance is based on points. You got to earn your way into their championships. You can't just be like, hey, I'm some big time organization, or I'm some big name. I need a bid, or I'll pay you to get into it. That it doesn't work like that with the Alliance. You gotta play. So 8 different leagues over there, East Coast all the way to West Coast, Mid Atlantic, the Midwest, Texas League. So, check it out. Look into it. Watch that podcast. She answers a lot of questions. So if you got questions about it, check out the podcast first. And she's pretty cool, down to earth, and just loves the feedback. She's all about the game. She played at Texas A&M, big time. I'm a big fan of Jamie. I think she's doing great things. She has a really good support staff around her. The board is just, I mean, when you're talking Scott Smith and Tom Bunn, Stith, Rico, I mean, they're just, you know, there's Marty Tyson. I mean, there's just guys that's been in the game, playing at the highest levels, and they're all coming together for the greater good. I mean, yeah, they want to beat each other, but at the end of the day, they know if they're all clicking on all cylinders and all playing at a high level of competition, it's going to make, you know, not only their team better, but the sport better. I mean, these girls, they have a desire to play at the highest level in college and get, you know, earn an education, and maybe one day there'll be a legitimate, you know, means of them to play professionally and be able to earn a living and you know, do that just like we have in baseball and WNBA. So check out Jamie. That podcast just dropped. I got a couple other big names coming this week. Those will drop here in the next, probably one or two goes out between now and September 1st. Hoping. It's a matter of getting them edited. So I got some big names. I got some repeat guys coming on here, kind of talking about their spring and summer season. They were kind of recapping it. You know, we're going to talk about what they saw, what they noticed, what they would like to change, what went well, what they're looking for in the future. And I think it's good to listen to those guys talk, because, you know, you could be, you know, XYZ, and organization ABC does things that you kind of pick up on. So you're doing things your own way. You're writing your own story, and you see somebody doing something, and you go, well, you know, let me think about that. That's a cool idea. I wonder if something like that will work for me. And then you tweak it and you make it your own. So it's big for these guys to kind of sit back and recap their year, and you know, it helps grow the sport to let us know how good, you know, how well this team did, or you know, this organization is got this going on now. They've partnered with so and so. It just, you know, could be inspiration for some. They're not doing it out of, hey, look at me, I'm doing this and you're not. It's with these guys that I talk to, it's definitely not. It's not like that. So I don't want it to be portrayed as that. But I like to hear from them and see, you know, the good of what's going on, what's being offered to different teams and that kind of stuff, to kind of show us that, hey, they're doing it, we can too. And of course, there's different levels to travel ball. I mean, there's definitely different levels to it. So my job as podcast host or content creator or personal trainer, hitting instructor, softball instructor, it's just to take what I learn and mold it to the individual that I'm working with, or to the audience. Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't intend to ever know everything. I would love to learn as much as I possibly can, but that's not me. I like to spread as much goodness about the sport as I can. So I implore you to be an ambassador of the game and to the game as well. It's a great sport. It's the most exciting sport in the world, I think. So I think moving forward, we've got a lot of big stuff happening over here at Black Diamond. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Check out the store. That's etsy.com/shop/BD Softball Fit. Order today. You'll get it pretty quick. So thank you guys. And that'll do it for me here. Don't forget, Etsy.com/BD Softball Fit.